And welcome back from Evergreen Speedway. This segment is brought to you by First Line Systems there in Kirkland. And First Line Systems is a proud sponsor of sprint car racing and is one of the largest drywall construction firms in Washington State. So thanks a lot to the great team at First Line Systems. We're getting ready to get back underway halfway through our Buzz-In Steakhouse Stinger 8 main event, and it is still Dawson Cox on the inside in the 7D, followed by Matt Somerville, Nick Holton, and Andrew Reinders make up the top four. And getting back underway, green flag, you can see the flagman down in the buried in the Uke tires there, just coming out of turn 4, but another great drone shot.
Can you imagine what that flagman goes through? Because he's got cars in front of him, cars behind him. He has to kind of keep one eye on what's coming at him, but also what's happening in that intersection behind him, because they can sneak up behind him. So that flagman has a very difficult job, a very important job for figure 8 racing.
Yep, that they do, and it's one of those jobs that it takes a lot of courage to sit out there. As we see Dawson Cox, or excuse me, good battle between the 42 and the 40 there as they come out of turn number 4.
You're right. You look at that 21 car that's started towards the back, about 11th spot. He's clear up to second. That's Matt Somerville. He's also running some very, very good times, very comparable to what the leader Dawson Cox is doing. But you've got, right now, it's Cox, followed by Somerville, Smith, Reinders, Raridan, Holton, Miller, Damon Claiborne, who we haven't talked about, is coming up through that field, Jim Mackey, and rounding out top 10, it's Michaela Peterson.
Yeah, Michaela having a good run. It's been so cool to see her kind of work her way up a little bit every time the Buzz-In Steakhouse Stinger 8s come out. Kind of an interesting fun fact, our friend Gary Reardon in the number 2 car, you see him on the screen up there in position number 5. He's doing this his 8th year of running in this class. So congratulations, and thanks for keep coming back out, Gary, because it's good to have you here. And we enjoy watching you races. It's starting to get spread out now here. We'll have 10 to go when they come by.
You're right, and spread out is good in figure 8 racing.
It
that
really
means
is.
They're all around the racetrack, and that intersection should get a little bit busier. Hopefully there's no yellow these last 10 laps. And right there, just squeaking through that intersection.
There has been some of the most hideous hits you will ever see, and it's so cool because these cars, and we've talked about this in the past, even these ones too, they're kind of built to take the type of hit that can happen in these things, and you'll see it almost there where they just are almost into a guy's door. They'll clip the back end, clip the front end. They're just kind of hanging out there, and they bounce back, and it doesn't take it takes a fair amount of effort, obviously, to get them put back together, but it's not as bad as you might think. They don't total these things out very often.
No, it's the driver that takes the abuse, and the car just keeps right on a roll, and it's like that watch that takes a licking and keeps on ticking. That's what these cars are like. And we've just completed lap 23. It's still Dawson Cox, followed by Matt Somerville, Robert Swift, and Andrew Reiners.
There's the 42 car of Robert Smith. You just see a nice shot of that one there, and the cars, just like we had talked about, spread all over our figure 8 course. We'll be using that in another race coming up tonight with our Monroe Grocery Outlet Super Stock figure 8s. Get some V8 power down on this course, and it's kind of interesting too to kind of think, whoa, hang on there, boys. That could have took out a whole bunch of them, but to kind of finish my thought, the condition of the track, it's obviously temperatures are up there as we've been going through the past couple of weeks, and it's kind of interesting to see how that affects these cars. Bulk of them are front-wheel drive, and that is helping them. That is awesome shot. Holy cow, there's an Emmy Award-winning shot right there.
That was a great shot. It's just squeaking through. And just think, if it lifted just a little there, right there, you lift a little, you're wrecked.
Yep.
You're wrecked. So once you've determined you're going, keep that pedal on the floor. Your foot has to want to come up just a little, but you got to keep ooh.
Yeah, it's getting close there in the intersection of doom, as it was named by the great Hollywood Gary Cressy many years ago. And this is the spot where, that split-second decision is we're coming up on 2 laps to go in our Stinger 8 main event, brought to you by the Buzz-In Steakhouse. Look at this! Oh, man! That is such a cool shot.
That was absolutely, I mean, great driving by those
Yeah.
guys too. Inches and inches apart, all around.
Yeah, I knew that we were going to geek out on these shots. It just, I mean, it's such a neat perspective of it. But you see Dawson Cox in the number 7D with Matt Somerville in that number 21 car.
There's a clip.
Matt Somerville gets ticked right in that left rear corner, and we've
Around he
take a
went and
second here.
kept right back in. So let's
Yep.
take another look at that.
Yeah, here he comes now as they kind of slow it down. Just barely got clipped, and it doesn't take a lot to get that car spun around, but Matt Somerville will throw her back in gear as you see it one more time. But it's pretty neat. Hopefully now we've got that drone shot back up, and there's another little trophy on there. But as we take a second to kind of get these guys regrouped and get back to the final laps here, an exciting race for our first one here on tonight on Home Track Heroes. Good to see these guys. Good amount of cars and good action too.
You bet. And it's, and this is why figure eight racing is so darn good.
Yeah. A lot of people at their home tracks all across the country would love to have a facility like we have here. All right, 2 laps to go. You see the number 21 of Matt Somerville kind of, yeah, I think I'll
That
just
clip,
pull
that
this thing
little
back.
shot he took
Yeah.
on the left rear was probably a little harder than we thought.
I think he was just kind of checking out to see if that rear end might still be hanging in there, but
He's just checking out the signboards on the 5/8 mile oval.
yeah, we see another car pulling in back there too that looked like the 42 of Tayden Ireland, and it is as she had a good showing here, finished 27 laps into this, as we're going to have 2 more laps to go before the checkered flag comes out. You see a little bit of nose damage there on the number 2 of Gary Reardon, but won't stop him from going forward. But as this thing shows, it is Dawson Cox, and that will move Robert Smith up into the 2nd spot, followed by Jason Miller, Andrew Rangers, Gary Reardon in that 5th spot. So back underway. They'll do green-white checkered. And as they come around, Dawson Cox now with about a 4-car length lead as he comes out of turn 2 and in through the intersection.
With Tayden out of the race, that gives bragging rights to her dad, Robert Smith.
Oh,
So
look at that.
whoa!
Shoves him right around. And white flag out. Back underway. Final lap here for our Buzz-In Steakhouse Stingray's main event here on Home Track Heroes. Dawson Cox, as this is not the first time that we have done this, ladies and gentlemen. He will come up with the checkered flag as he makes his final couple of turns on the figure 8 course. There it is. Congratulations, Dawson Cox. 2nd place, Robert Smith and Jason Miller will come up and we'll bring him up to the Angel of the Winds winner's circle, and they'll get to get a couple of pretty cool trophies. Good to see Dawson Cox come back, especially after a tough weekend.
You bet. And he's got a long week in front of him to get that car ready for the next Pro Late Model race.
All right, I'm here with 3rd place Jason Miller. So 2 races, 2 3rd places. What do you think you need to get to the next step up the ladder?
Oh, a lot more seat time. My car is it's an old car. It's pretty fast for what it is, but it's hard to dial it in. It's pretty bent up. It's been around a while, and a new car is in the works. But until then, we'll make do with what we got.
So you kind of, at the start of the race, you kind of got into a little bit of the thing down in the south corner, and you worked your way up. What kind of happened in that first few laps?
Oh, well, the whole race was pretty rough. Everybody was out for blood, and it got pretty rough there a few times. And I'm pretty fortunate to get 3rd, as rough as it was. There was a lot of guys knocking on the back bumper, and I just stayed with it, and persistency paid off.
All right, you want to thank anybody?
My mom and dad, they're big supporters. My wife, Amy, and Calvin Miller, Cox family. They're always around when I need them, and they're big supporters. Yeah, I appreciate all the help.
All right, another 3rd place for Jason Miller. All right, we got 2nd place here, Robert Smith. You were fighting through to try to get up to Somerville and Cox, and you probably had the best seat of what happened there, so walk me through that.
Yeah, coming out of the south corner, looking for the exit of the north. Made sure it was clear, looked up, and then the next thing I saw was just Somerville spinning hard. And then I didn't know who he hit, or who hit him, but yeah, I got a pretty good view of it.
So after that, you're right there behind Dawson. What were you thinking to try to steal the podium from him?
Oh, I wasn't going to catch him. The car wasn't there. I was just more focused on who was going to be behind me and how I was going to keep them off. The car was pushing really hard, and I wasn't going to be able to catch Dawson unless he had to check up in the intersection.
Who do you want to thank?
Mom, dad, wife, and the kids that are at home. My daughter Tayden, Toyota and Honda Seattle, Instant Auto Body.
All right, Robert Smith, second place. All right, Dawson, another race, another win, this time in the Stingers. Kind of walk me through that. You had a rearview mirror full of Somerville for quite a few laps there, and then kind of tell me what happened.
He was giving me a run for my money. I was doing everything I could to stay in front of him. I started making some bold moves in the intersection, and I had one. It was really close, and I'm like, man, I can get this train the next lap around. And I made a poor judgment there. Thank God everybody was driving heads up besides me because they all missed me somehow. It was blind luck, nothing else. And then, yeah, I mean, I had a good start of the race. I got through traffic really good. Just got lucky. I mean, had fun, blast. Hopefully we can mimic this in a big car again.
So we've seen you in the winner's circle many times this year. Does it ever get old?
It's not that it gets old. It's just it's a different challenge every time you win a race. It's not the same race every time, so it's always something new. I really enjoyed tonight. I had someone right on my back bumper giving me a run for my money. That's what's fun, being chased or chasing someone, just giving it all you have to try to finish your best you can.
Anybody you want to thank tonight?
Dave Riddell, my dad, Steve Cox, and everybody else that helped me throughout the day. Calvin Miller for helping me with tow and tire stuff. I really appreciate all the help.
All right, Dawson Cox, another win.